We'll start. Starting with the 2017 question, question number 5. Suppose the aggregate consumption function for simple economy while investment is given by, okay, how much is investment, guys? I think I've missed the part when typing. Can you give me the numbers? Open your past paper, you can see investment is 200. Okay. Investment is 200 and consumption is 100 plus 0.85. There is nothing else, right? Government spending or something is something like that there in the question. Government spending, net exports. No, right. Yes, please make this correction. When I'm typing the past paper, I missed this. Investment is 200 and the consumption function is given by C equals this. They're asking you for the equilibrium level of national income. Disgrace, no? After studying so much, when they give you a question like this, you study nights and nights, wake up early in the morning, study late at night, and they tell you C and I is this much, calculate equilibrium. Y equals E, Y is equal to C plus I, Y is equal to the simple economy, so there is no this. Yes, 3 marks. C is 100 plus 0.8Y, I is 200. Can you solve this, guys? I'm not going to solve this. It will be a disgrace for me also. How much do you all get? Y equals 1005. Yes. Yes, I'm hoping you all did the questions and came. Don't just come and look at my face and wait. So equilibrium income is 1005. Then part B. What is the level of savings at equilibrium? How do you find this? Can you tell me, according to my consumption function, can I make the savings function? If consumption is 100 plus 0.8y, what is my savings function? Savings will be minus 100 plus, if that is 0.8, this would be 0.2, no? Okay, you can do this. So then, guys, how much is my equilibrium level of national income? 1005. So put 1005 to this y and calculate. Savings is equal to minus 100 plus 0.2 into 1500. Now it's math so. So minus 100, 0.2 into 1500 is 300. So 300 minus 100, savings is 200. So can you see how easy that 4 marks were? Equilibrium level of national income, 2 marks easily got. Level of savings, 2 marks easily got. This is what I say, 3 marks. Then part C. If for some reason aggregate output was at a level of 1007, what would be the level of inventory accumulation? Remember, this same question was there in a past paper. We did on Tuesday. You'll remember this. I showed you the output is this much, but this is this much. So see, your equilibrium level of national income, this is also equal to E, no guys. So they are saying now you calculated in part E, people are willing to spend 1500. Okay, but they are saying for some reason the output is 1700. So how much of inventory accumulation do we have? How much excess do we have? We did this in Tuesday also. How much of excess do we have? We have an excess of 200, right? So you can say the inventory accumulation, we have too much of 200. We have too much of inventory. People are going to spend 1005. Where did I get the 1005 from? From part A, our Y equals E calculation. So 1005 people are going to spend. For some reason, they are saying aggregate output is 1007. That means we have 200 more. Simple as that. That is another 3 mark again. 6 marks you've got. Right. Now that question is different. Now this question number 1 is done. Calculation is done. Okay. Then they ask part 2. Explain why a 500 million reduction in government purchase will generate a larger fall in real GDP, in other words, national income, than a 500 million increase in tax. Why is this, guys? Now, just calculate and see. Remember, if, okay, let's say, 1C, no, you don't have to explain. What would be the inventory accumulation? You can say it's 200. You can just show the numbers and show this is this much, this is this much. Therefore, inventory accumulation. Okay. Remember, I'll just give you a simple example. Can you tell me if my MPC, okay, is 0.8? how much is my government spending multiplier? 1 over 1 minus MPC. How much do I get? 1 over 1 minus 0.8, I get 5 times, no? So 5 times. So that means if I reduce government expenditure, okay, we'll go with this one. Change in national income over change in government spending. This is 5. Change in national income, as you don't have to do a calculation here, I'm just trying to prove it, okay? Change in government spending is a minus 500. They're saying reduction by 500. So if I reduce government spending by 500, by how much will my national income change by? My national income will fall by 2,500. If I reduce government spending by 500, national income will fall by 2,500. On the same side, guys, can you tell me what happens if I do the tax thing instead? If I, can you tell me what is my KT? KT is minus B over 1 minus B. B is MPC. So, minus 0.8 over 1 minus 0.8. That is minus 0.8 divided by 0.2. You get minus 4. Minus 4 times. This is your tax multiplier. Then use the same equation. KT equals change in national income divided by change in taxes. So they are saying than a 500 million increase in tax. So if you increase tax multiplier is minus 4, right? Change in national income, I don't know. I increase taxes by 500. Can you work around and tell me how much will my change in national income be? My national income will fall by how much? If I increase taxes by 500, it has a multiplier of minus 4, it will fall by 2,000. So the question is asking not this, the question is asking why will this happen? So they are asking, see, when I reduce government spending, the national income falls by 2,500. When I increase taxes by the same 500, my national income falls only by 2,000. They are asking why. See, they are asking, explain why a 500 million reduction in government purchases will generate a larger fall. See, 500 million reduction in government purchase resulted in a 2,500 fall in national income. Then a 500 million increase in tax. If you increase taxes by 500, it only costs the national income fall of 2,000. So they are asking you why. They are not asking you to numerically show what will happen. I am just numerically showing to prove that you look here, this is what is happening. So why is that case? Think, when, why is that? When government spending, now why is the government spending having a bigger impact? When government spending changes, it directly goes and affects, your Y. Because remember your equation, Y is equal to C plus I plus G plus net exports. It directly affects your Y. But if when there is a change in taxes, it doesn't directly affect Y. When there is a change in taxes, it first affects your disposable income. Let's say if taxes fall by 500, disposable income will increase by 500. If disposable income increases by 500, will your consumption also increase by 500? That is where the impact is. If government spending increases by 500, national income increases by 500 first, then the multiplier goes. If taxes fall by 500, disposable income therefore rises by 500, will consumption also increase by 500? No, right? Remember, consumption has a MPC 0.8 component. So if, what will happen? If taxes fall by 500, your disposable income will increase by 500. Now see here, when you increase government spending by 500, it automatically gets multiplied by 5. Expenditure multiplier, national income changes by 2,500. Okay. Okay. We'll talk about a reduction below. This says reduction. Okay. So if government spending falls by 500, gets multiplied by 5, national income will fall by 2,500. But if you increase taxes by 500, what's going to happen? If you increase taxes by 500, first what will happen is your disposable income will fall by 500. Remember, disposable income is y minus t. So if you increase t, yd falls. When yd falls by 500, does your consumption increase by, does your consumption also fall by 500? No. Remember MPC. So when yd falls by 500, your MPC is 0.8. So let's say your consumption will only fall by 400. So this 400 multiplied by 5, your national income falls only by 2,000. That is the story, guys. When government spending changes, it directly affects national income. So there is a bigger impact. When taxes change, it doesn't directly affect national income. When taxes change, it first affects your disposable income, YD. From that YD, not the entire thing is consumed. From your YD, only a portion of it will affect aggregate demand or national income, no? Because when your YD falls by 500, consumption won't fall by 500. Consumption will fall only by a 0. Whatever MPC is there, no? If MPC is 0.8, consumption will fall only by 400. So that 400 now, see, consumption, guys, is the component of Y. When government spending changes, directly affects Y. Okay, government spending changing directly affects Y. But when taxes change, it affects disposable income, only part of it. Now see, ideally when government spending reduces by 500, G goes down by 500. But when taxes are increased by 500, consumption goes up only by 400. Can you see that? That is why the government spending has a bigger impact than the tax. Government spending directly whole 500 affects, but when taxes go, it affects disposable income, only part of it affects consumption. Only 400 affects national income. That is why this is more expansion. This has a bigger impact than the tax. Did you all understand the theory behind it? Yes. The logic behind it, I'm hoping you all got it, as I just summarized the thing again. It's a little bit of a complex area, not very simple. You can go through the balance budget area as well in your whatever tunes that you have. If you have learned this, it should make somewhat sense. Yes, guys, others also are all okay. I have a very few responses. Did I not make any sense? Fine. Step the ones who kind of knew this is okay, right? Is it same for transfers? No, we'll leave transfers out. Yes, if transfers also go, that's there, but we don't talk about transfers much in our syllabus. Okay. So this story is what you need to explain, guys. So you can say now for 4 marks, you have to explain this. For 4 marks, you can say, look here, when government spending increases, it directly affects national income. You need to explain that story. Then you say, right, so even government spending decreases. You can give an example, guys, if you all want. Let's say MPC is 0.8. So if government spending decreases by 500, multiplier will be 5. National income will fall by 2,500. However, an increase in tax does not directly impact the national income. You can say an increase in tax will first affect disposable income. Only a part of that disposable income is passed on to consumption. For example, the increase in tax of 500 will cause a reduction in disposable income of 400. However, increase in tax of 500 will cause a disposable income fall of 500. But from this fall of disposable income 500, only 0.8 of it, you give examples, only 400 will be passed on to consumption, which then affects national income, right? You do that and you can explain, guys. So it's a bit of a tricky, harder question, but that's not that hard. Manager, but minus 500 is 0.8. Yes, so minus 500 is 0.8, you get minus. So this is the MPC, assuming MPC is this. So you see consumption falls only by 400. Government spending, you look at this one here. Look at this. When you change tax, government spending, direct impact 500 fall. But when you change taxes, you only have a fall of 400. This has to be minus. Okay. Calculations not necessary, but you can give some numbers to prove your answer better. You can say, for example, if something like this happens, this is what would happen, this is why it happens. You can give some numbers. But you should not prove that this is less than this. In the question itself, they say that no. In the question itself, they are saying, if government spending falls, that has a bigger impact than tax increase. So don't do this calculation. This one here is not needed. You don't have to show this is what is happening. But you can show maybe what I wrote on top of the screen. Look here, if this changes, this will happen. If this changes, this affects YD first. Then only this happens. So that part you can kind of show. Okay. Right. Then we'll go into question 3. Okay. Question 3. Can you all think a little on this until I have some water? Assume that GDP is 6,000, disposable income is 5,100, budget deficit 200, consumption 3,800, trade deficit 100. They're asking you for savings, investment, and government spending. How can you find it? Okay, we'll start with A. How do you find savings? From your disposable income, if you minus whatever that you consume, you get your savings, right? So you can say savings is disposable income minus consumption. Whatever you consume, you minus. Now, we'll see how much do we have here. There is disposable income 5,100. Consumption, they are saying here 3,800. So how much is savings then, Lamai? Savings is, if your disposable income, remember, don't take income, take disposable income. So from 5,100, if you minus a 3,800, you get 1,300. That is your 2 marks done. Part 2. What is the size of investment? Okay. Part B is asking for investment. How can you find investment? Remember your, what can we do, guys, here? They've given budget deficit. They have given, you can use W equals J, right? Don't you think? Yeah. The W equals J approach. That I think is more easier. So withdrawals are what? Savings, taxes, imports. Injections are government spending. Investment, government spending, and exports. Now, since they have given me budget deficit, guys, I'll move the government spending to this side. Now, look at how I make this up. Look at this. I'll make a small change. Here, savings plus taxes, this plus G, I'll move it to this side. And they have given me trade deficit also. No? This one also, I'll move it to this side. Okay. So look what I'm doing. So this one minus G. The M I'll move to that side. Okay. Now, what is this? Taxes minus government spending. That's the budget deficit. I'll move the imports into this side. Okay. So plus X minus M. What is X minus M? Your trade deficit. Is that clear, guys? What I did there? I moved the government spending to this way. From the normal equation, I took the G and put it there. So plus G became minus G. So T minus G is my budget deficit. Why am I doing that? Because that is the information given in the question. Then imports, I took it and put it on that side, minus import. Then why did I do that? Because X minus M is given in the question. Okay. Think a little and see, it's not that hard. So then, now I have this modified equation. Savings 1300. I found this in part 1. T minus G, that is the budget balance, taxes minus government spend. They are saying T minus G is a deficit of 200. So budget balance is a minus 200. Okay. Investment, I need to find. Net exports they have given, core net exports are deficit of 100. So that is another 100 of a deficit. Solve this, you can find I. So how much is I? 1300 minus 200. This minus 100, I'll take it to this side, becomes plus 100 equals I. I is equal to here. I is equal to 1004 or 1002. 1002, right? Past paper also 1002, no? Your answer? Yes. Is that fine? So, important thing to note, there is a more longer method than this also. You can find the government spending by, because now see, next requirement is only to find the government spending. Now, if you're going to use the y equals e approach, y is given c plus I plus g plus nx, then you have to do c first. No? That is why I tell you, read the order. Now, some of you all, guess how many of you all did the y equals e approach? You can still get the same answer, no problem at all. Did you all do y equals e approach to find the investment? Y is 6,000, consumption is 3,800, investment is this, government spending is something, right? So then you have to find government spending and then come to B. You all understand that? I can't find I because I have a G missing. So I have to find G, then only I have to get I. So finding G is my part C requirement. That's why I use this method. Got it? Even if you use this method, you get the same answer correct. But you know, since there is a sequence of questions, will not be Panditai and do that. We'll do this. Okay? Right. Now for this, you can use the other one. Now, you don't even have to do that. Part C, guys, they're asking for government spending. How do you find government spending? Government spending is, you remember I told you, budget balance is what? Taxes minus government spending. Budget balance, they have said there is a deficit of 200. So my budget balance is a minus 200 deficit. How much is my taxes, Lamai? How do I find taxes? My income is 6,000, disposable income is 5,100. YD equals Y minus T. YD is 5,100, Y is 6,000. So how much should my taxes be there? Taxes should be a 900. So you show that working also in your paper. So taxes are 900. Then if taxes are 900, how much is my government spending? G is equal to, how much is that? 1,100. Is that okay? Manageable? Fine. Step. Right. Okay. So that is done. Shall we wrap things from there? Shall we do the, no, there is one more. No? We'll do this also and wrap things because I have to go to work today. We'll quickly do this and then we can wrap it up. Okay. Question number 4. Equilibrium level of national income is not necessarily equal to the full employment level of national income. Explain the statement. We did this before, no? Remember, you can say for equilibrium, for national income to be at equilibrium, what should happen? Y should equal to E. That is the condition for you to be at equilibrium. So, in your this thing, right? Let's say, for example, this is your full employment level of output. So you can be at equilibrium at full employment also. So your equilibrium level can also be equal to full employment level. But it doesn't always have to be that. Because as long as y is equal to e, as long as those two curves are intersecting, you're at equilibrium. That's what they're saying. So here, see, you can be at equilibrium. Now, for example, what if your aggregate expenditure is like the red line? So then where are you at equilibrium? Here, this is the equilibrium point. It's equilibrium, but it's not the full employment level of equilibrium. It's above full employment. What do we call this type of equilibrium? The red one? What output gap is that? Oh, this is called inflationary output gap. No, inflationary output gap. You're at equilibrium, but you're at equilibrium with inflation. Now, I'll draw another line. Let's talk about the blue line here. Now, here also you are at equilibrium. YE, equilibrium level. As long as the two curves cut, you are equilibrium. But here you are at equilibrium where? You are at equilibrium below full employment. What do you call this? You can call this a deflationary, a recessionary, whatever output. Yeah. So this is at equilibrium with unemployment. The red one is equilibrium with inflation. So what they are trying to ask is they are trying to see whether you know the difference between full employment level of output and equilibrium level of output. Full employment level of output is the output that the economy can generate by using all of its resources to the normal sustainable level. There is an amount. Your equilibrium level doesn't have to exactly be that. Maybe you are at equilibrium at that full employment. Maybe. You can be at equilibrium above full employment. That's an inflationary output gap. You can be at equilibrium below full employment. That's a deflationary or recessionary output gap. So that is what you need to explain. See, they are saying equilibrium level of national income is not necessarily equal to the full employment. You can say, look here, it can be equal, but it doesn't necessarily have to be equal. You can have equilibrium above full employment. That's called the inflation output gap. You can be at equilibrium below full employment. That's called a recessionary or a deflationary output gap. Okay. So you can draw a diagram as well and you can explain. You can say, look here, the condition for equilibrium is where aggregate income equals aggregate expenditure, Y equals E. This does not necessarily have to be at the level of full employment. Okay, so you can show. Is that clear, guys? This is a very common question again. Yes, inflation output gap, you can consider it like a positive output gap. Fine. Shape, manageable. Okay. Right. So with that, we'll wrap things up. Shall we have a class tomorrow morning and finish it without dragging it? I think 1 hour is enough because 2019 onwards and all, you all don't have full questions. There is only like small part questions to the 1920 and all. Shall we do tomorrow? I think you all have a business class as well. No, I remember. No, accounting class. No, the accounting people with Miss Mariam. Shall we do? You all don't have it tomorrow. Then shall we do the same time? I know if you all have the accounting class, Miss Mariam's accounting class, we can do 8 to 9. Tomorrow I'm working from home, so I can adjust and I can do the class. We can do 8 to 9 or we can do 7 to 8. I think 1 hour is enough. So we'll do 7 to 8 then. Okay, so we'll do tomorrow morning 7 to 8 and we'll finish off 2018 to this. I'm planning to have some sort of extra sessions as well towards the weekend times to finish off unit number 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 and 8 are the ones that are big. 9 and 10 are actually small. 9 and 10, even with in one day I can finish all the MCQs, one day I can finish all the essay questions. 7 and 8 for Diga, especially 7, because 7 has credit creation, calculations, and all of that. So I would want to go comparatively a little slower. So we'll see. Okay. Right. So we'll call it a day for today. So far, so good. Do the rest of the questions. Do unit number 7, 8, 9, 10 also, because we will have classes sooner and sooner and we'll somehow finish it. This YouTube recording, I will not have time today or tomorrow to upload. If I find some time on the weekend, I'll put it on to you. Okay, see you and have a nice night. Okay, bye.